Nathan Ramsey right in front of us. Stefan Roncada to the right, and look to the left of Ramsey. That's Steve Lamson. This start very important on this track, and it's Nathan Ramsey with the hole shot. But right there as well, Stefan Roncada, Brandon Jessamine, number 44, and Casey Johnson not far behind. But our leader right here at the beginning is Nathan Ramsey of Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Ramsey already being hounded by Stefan Roncada, number 26. David, it looks like Stefan wants to make a move very early. Cuts to the inside. Ramsey trying to hold on. Bar to bar we go. But look at the outside pass by Stefan Roncada.
Stefan just catching Nathan completely by surprise right there and clipped him on the way by. So it was good balance, reflexes right there by Nathan to stay up. If you crash in this opening lap, almost the whole pack passes you.
Brandon Jessamine on the Suzuki now starting to pressure for second place Nathan Ramsey. But our clear-cut leader is Stefan Roncada. Let's go to the pits.
Dan, what another great start for Stefan. I don't know what you guys have got worked out, but the month of July so far, amazing start.
Yeah, I know. He's finally put starts together. That's all he needed to get better finishes, and finally he's doing it. I don't know what he's doing different, but it's working.
How pumped up was he after sweeping both motos at Budds Creek 2 weeks ago?
And I think that was the best thing he's ever done in his life. He was so happy after that. It was just a perfect race.
It appears that Stefan has just continued in motocross where he left off in supercross as the winningest rider in the 125 supercross ranks, and he became such in motocross in the last round at Budds Creek with that sweep. Here's Nathan Ramsey, number 24. He's had 3 brutal rides in a row coming into Red Bud, a 12th at Mount Morris, a 13th overall at Southwick, a 22nd at Budds Creek, David.
And that just seems impossible to imagine him finishing that far back in the pack when you watch him here. He's a little shaky in spots, but he's riding aggressive. He's charging around the racetrack. He's keeping pace with the leaders, no problem.
He needs a breakthrough moto just like this. Roncada, Ramsey, and Jessamine are top 3. We'll be back in a moment. The Chevy Trucks AMA Motocross Series is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Honda, the company that defines performance on 2 wheels. Performance first. And by Suzuki, makers of innovative motorcycles and ATVs. Welcome back to Red Bud Track and Trail. Our leader, Stefan Roncada, in the opening 125 round. Nathan Ramsey still in second place, and Brandon Jessamine on the Suzuki is trying for a breakthrough moto here. He is in 3rd. His best moto of the year was 11th, David.
And that's where he should be more of the time. And it's his first full year pro. He's a better rider than some of the finishes he's gotten. And the difference from amateurs to pro is in the pro ranks, if you get a 20th place start, you can't work your way up like you can in an amateur.
Brandon trying to come back from 2 26th place finishes in the last 2 races. Let's go to the pits.
Greg, I got to tell you, we're not used to seeing Brandon up front early in races. We always see him, unfortunately, laying in the dirt in the first turn, but today he finally got that start he's been waiting for.
Yeah, we've doing some extra testing and whatnot, and we've really got the bike running good now, and he's been practicing a lot of starts and getting a lot more confident with his starts, so that's helped us out a lot.
I know you're not the rider, but why do you think he has so many problems getting through the first turn? It seems like he's always a guy that, he's a magnet for pileups.
Well, there's a heck of a lot of competition in the 125 class, and it's really tough going in the first turn when everybody's speed is all right around the same.
How bad do you think he needed to start confidence-wise?
Really bad.
Well, that tells you right there what the start means to a kid like Brandon, and anybody out there really, but for Brandon to try to get up there and have the opportunity to run with a guy like Ramsey, a former Supercross champion, a guy who's been at the front before. And if you don't get that start and get a chance to see these guys and watch their lines go their pace, very often you tend to get a little bit more nervous. And then when you get in certain situations, you make mistakes and go down, which is what's happened to him this year. And he's always feeling like, boy, if I just wouldn't have made that one mistake, I would have been up there in the top 10. That's how you build confidence.
Along with the added sand and a very minor change in the track this year. David, you won twice here, once on a 500, once on a 250. Has it changed much over the years?
Well, the layout is pretty much the same, but well, I'll tell you what, they've really done an excellent job. Look at how deep it is right there. 2 or 3 berms, plus you got one out there on the outside. It's a lot rougher going into the corners, more places to pass. It was a lot harder packed, a little bit dustier when I raced. Got to be more precise on the throttle. It was like racing in California almost. It was that hard and slick. Now it's loamy and perfect.
Nathan Ramsey doing a good job of holding off the youngster Brandon Jessamine here. So far, he has not made the mistake that Jessamine's looking for.
Well, I think Brandon right at this point is just trying to stay close. You know, if he has gotten better finishes so far in this season, I think he may be a little bit more aggressive and try to attack Ramsey, but at this point, he's just stoked to be up in the top, taking a look at the leaders here, running their pace, getting comfortable. There's still plenty of time in this race for him to put on a little charge at the end.
Had to be a real bummer for him to anticipate his first professional season, and then before the Supercross season opened up, he gets injured and has to sit out the whole year last year.
Yeah, and that didn't help his training program either, so it's very difficult to come back, even if you sit out some races without an injury. But you have an injury on top of that, it just compounds the problem. It's really tough to get back. But here, he looks strong, gets over that double a little bit cleaner than Ramsey, taps the brake and hit the downside better. And he's staying with his pace, learning all the lines. He'll probably use some of what he's learned right here in these the first half of this race down the stretch to try to get Ramsey to pick up the position.
The battle for second continues as Stefan Roncada is out in front, way out in front, looking for his third consecutive Moto victory.
I think Brandon understands right now that if he can get around Ramsey towards the end, stay close, keep the pressure on, that'll put him in an excellent place to get the overall win. A third, he still may have a chance, but a second, he can win the second Moto, and he's definitely looking good. If something happens to Roncada out front, he have an opportunity to win his first national.
Nathan Ramsey just having an awful year physically in the Supercross season. Of course, a preseason injury put him into a different division. He started racing in that division, and then another injury came about. He was never a factor in Supercross when he was actually the defending champion of the 125 West in Supercross. Here's Casey Johnson moving up to fourth.
He's been slowly gaining on these guys. That's the thing that's happened in the 125. You heard Jessamine's mechanic talk about how tough and how competitive this field is. You don't just gain seconds a lap. You gain a little bit here and a little bit there, and if you make a mistake, it takes about 3 laps to get that time back.
Ramsey going through some gnarly areas here with ease.
You can imagine how rough and deep that's going to be by the second Moto. That's the ski jump. They got a camera mounted under the bridge for the spectators to get back and forth across the track. Now imagine you going off into that blind. I had a dream once that I got the whole shot, and as I went off that jump, the bulldozer was coming up the hill, and I woke up. And then the next day I got the whole shot for real. I was pretty slow off the jump.
Our AMA Chevy Trucks Motocross schedule takes us next to Unadilla. Hope you can join us at one of these events. We're back at Red Bud Track and Trail in Buchanan, Michigan, for more AMA motocross action. Stefan Roncada is leading our first 125 moto, and he is gone. He is way out in front. Here's the battle for second place with Nathan Ramsey of Pro Circuit Kawasaki and Brandon Jessamine on a Suzuki. Jessamine holding true just like David anticipated, learning as he goes along.
That's up to Larocco's lead. They're not able to go for the full triple on a 125, just the double like Davey explained. You see Johnson starting to inch up a little bit more, just like I was talking about. He's just picking up a little bit of time here and there, but he's going to be close enough to pass maybe both these guys before the checkered flag.
Casey Johnson has had 2 fifth-place overalls, Glen Helen and Southwick. His best moto of the season was a second in the opener, Glen Helen. But he's had a couple of double-digit events since then that have put him out of contention for the points race. There's Brandon Jessamine, number 44.
He has got that corner wired. He just pops up in there, and as soon as he's back in, gets set, he's back on the power and never lets off.
Good shot of the 3 riders battling for second place now, as we do see number 29 getting into the action.
That's heading up to the ski jump. You're at about 3rd gear, just into 4th. Flying off that jump. This is a little chicane. This is one little change they did put in the track, just to slow down that one section. After the ski jump, they used to be going about 100 miles an hour through the valley and back up the other side, but they put in this little chicane here. There's Pastrana starting to work his way up, right behind Pingree.
If you've been asking where is Travis Pastrana, he's in 9th place right now, but he's on the move, David.
He's just plowing up the track back there, trying to take a little different line. This kid rarely follows. That's why he's able to work his way through the pack so well.
Pastrana, the last 5 motos have put him back in the championship chase. Let's go down to the pits now with Davey Coombs.
Not a very good start for Travis. Are you surprised?
Yeah, surprised a little bit. He didn't get a very good start, and he's got his work cut out for him. It's really going to be hard. It's a really fast track, and all the guys up front are going about the same speed other than Roncada. It's really going to be hard.
He told us earlier that he was having a little bit of problems with some of the whoops and some of the bumps out there, especially those fast braking bumps. Did you guys try to make any changes to the motorcycle to reflect that?
Yeah, we made a little bit of suspension and motor setting change, and we're just going to have to go with it and hope for the best.
Redbud's a tough track to learn, especially for a kid who's never been here before.
Yeah, he hasn't rode it before, and he's pretty good at picking it up. So, like I say, he's got a hard job ahead of him, but he'll do the best.
While Lee McCullough was talking, I just couldn't believe the speeds these guys are cutting through this track. It's a difficult track.
And every time we're on Ramsey, I just watch him. He's just flying into these corners, right back on the power. Just a little squirrely here and there, and that's because he's pushing it so hard. And when he watches, it's hard to believe that Roncada is pulling away. Imagine how fast he's going.
Nathan Ramsey, number 24. Brandon Jessamine now starting to apply the pressure. Jessamine has an idea, and he wants to execute it right now. Not quite bar to bar as he go into the corner. Ramsey has the advantage. And right behind these two, Casey Johnson.
I think that's what's changing Jessamine's tactics right now. He's getting in there and starting to rub some plastic with Ramsey and let him know he's there. And I think he realized that by being back from him the way he was, it wasn't putting enough pressure on him. But as you get a little closer, the whole team's starting to feel the heat.
And on the radios there, Mitch Payton, the manager of Pro Circuit Kawasaki. What a great success story he has built for his team. Nathan Ramsey now trying to hold off Jessamine. Can he do it on the ski jump?
These guys are jumping about 80 feet down that hill right there, wide open. As soon as they land, they got braking bumps, and they got to negotiate this double in the middle of a switchback.
This is the battle for second place. Ramsey getting much more power to the ground out of that corner.
He's trying to get away from these guys, let them duke it out on their own. If they do that, they'll start riding. Perhaps, Jessamine will have to protect his line a little bit. That'll allow a little breathing room for Ramsey, but he's got to go hard right here for the next lap and a half or so.
What a great battle in our first 125 Moto from Redbud Track and Trail. This track has been just immaculately prepared.
Beautiful day, and the way.
Talon Volan. Talon Volan, second on the season in laps led, and still in the points race, is down and out here.
Tell by the way his visor's tweaked over to the side. Landed on his head. That's coming down the hill before they go back out to the front towards Larocco's Leap. There's some braking bumps there as you try to get into the berms at speed. Probably went over the bars there.
This time last year, see what happened at Unadilla to Volan. About the same time of year, he'll get up from under the bike and get hit again. This put him out and took him completely out of title contention. Let's hope this last crash doesn't do the same. Battle for fifth is on. Steve Lampson trying to hold off Travis Pastrana. Pastrana now has geared it up a notch.
Well, Travis may realize that Roncada is out front gaining valuable points on him. He has got to get around as many riders as he can and try to stay close in the points chase.
Lammy looking back earlier now. Whoa, a little contact, baby. Travis goes down.
Looked like he was trying to fit somewhere that Lampson wasn't going to let him fit. They're both going for the same berm, but Lampson had the inside that time.
Oh, and Travis had trouble restarting his Suzuki. Let's check it out again.
Well, Travis jumps the double a little bit better, gets into the berm, but Lampson's there already. See Lampson look over slightly. He realizes Travis goes down. I don't think he put him down intentionally, but there was definitely some contact, and I don't think Travis should have tried to make that move right there.
Here's a battle between two riders, both coming off their best overalls of the season. Curry, number 38. He had a sixth at Budds Creek. And look out, he's getting pressure right now. Brock Sellards to the outside, and number 18 makes the pass for sixth place.
I kind of feel like Sellards should be up a little farther in the pack after the way he rode in the Supercross season and as strong as he was on the 250.
So Brock Sellards moves up a notch to sixth place, but it's still Stefan Roncada dominating our opening 125 Moto. Welcome back to Buchanan, Michigan. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs bringing you the action. Our leader here in the first 125 Moto, number 26, Stefan Roncada, has never been challenged. He took the lead away from Nathan Ramsey early in the race on the first lap and has just continued in great style to dominate.
After sweeping last weekend and leading this moto pretty much from the very beginning, he's got to have the kind of confidence right now that he feels like he should be winning the race. Like there's nobody that can challenge him. It doesn't matter who it is, Travis, any of those guys. He should be able to beat those guys in the end. And when you get that kind of confidence, you're able to attack the racetrack. Nothing really seems to bother you.
Yeah, and if I went down this area right here, I would be bothered no matter what. I mean, one little mistake, and he might not win this race.
He seems to be having fun with this racetrack and those big braking bumps that other riders are not looking forward to each lap around. It doesn't really seem to bother him that much. He's still able to find the lines that he wants, get right into those inside berms, back on the power. Look how fast he went around that right-hand corner. And you have to be precise through there.
Travis Pastrana still tries to make his way up through the pack after going down in his scraping with Lampson. There's 199, Travis Pastrana.
And that was the corner he just went through where he did go down. And in the shot when he was getting restarted, you saw Pingree go by. Pingree's still ahead of him right there. See how deep those ruts are. They're bothering Pingree. Didn't bother Roncada, just like I said. Easy inside pass. And that little mistake by Pingree set that up. That just gave Pastrana a little bit of a wheel on him so that he could make that pass down there without having to make contact.
Still, it must be frustrating for Travis, who's in 8th position. He's led 26 laps in the last 3 events coming to Redbud. And his confidence level had to be high coming into this race, Dave.
Absolutely, and he knows he can win. But he's had some mistakes here and there through this series that have really cost him, and Roncada has been so much more solid when he hasn't won. And here it looks like he's going to go 3 in a row. That's going to put his confidence higher than anyone in this class.
So as the white flag is waving for number 26, Yamaha of Troy, Stefan Roncada, for his final turn around the Redbud Track and Trail here in the opening moto. I'm rather curious about the condition of Talon Volan, who was in the points race up until now. Let's check in now with Davey Combs.
Brent, can you tell us what happened to Talon?
Well, I presume when he made that sweeper on the right-hander going down the hill, a lot of braking bumps, and he allowed it to come up too high on the rear on him. The front end must have swapped out, hit him in the ribs. He lost his breath, and well, he did fall down, so it's a big point deficit now, you know. And I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to regroup and come back in a big way.
Do you think he's going to be able to ride the second moto? I mean, is the rib injury too much?
I don't think the rib injury is too much, but to be honest with you, he's got no choice. He's going to have to ride. We need the points.
How many times did you have to ride just for points, David?
Actually, I had to do it here in the 500 class one year. I broke my wrist in practice. Didn't know it yet, though, and I tried to ride the first moto. I took 12 Advil. I wouldn't suggest that. And I went out and got 10. Second moto, I rode 1 lap. I was in too much pain. Went to the hospital, got it x-rayed. It was fractured. But I got some points.
Well, Brock Lever wasn't in the greatest of shape then.
No, as a matter of fact, the points I got there forced him to have to ride with a broken wrist. Both of us, it was just the battle of who could ride hurt. And he was able to do it a little bit better that time.
Well, Roncada, who has ridden hurt before, has not been hurt this year. In fact, he's had a banner season, both in Supercross and so far in Motocross. Time to acknowledge the fans on his last trip around the track here at Redbud Track and Trail. Stefan Roncada on the verge of winning his 5th moto in a total of 11 motos so far this year. And he's got to be in pretty good shape for the second moto coming up.
Well, he's been able to conserve some energy in these final few laps, study the racetrack, figure out what he's going to do for the second moto. He's showing off a little bit of can back there on the big tunnel jump. And I think photographers know now with Roncada that last lap, they better be ready to get good shots because he's going to give them something.
It's impressive to see a rider dominate like Stefan Roncada did last week at Budds Creek, sweeping both motos, but it is really unique, I think, and unusual to see a rider come back again the next week and dominate like he has here in the first moto again. Stefan Roncada is more defining the points race as well, with Steve Lampson back in 5th spot. Pastrana and Volan in non-contending positions right now as he takes his time. Stefan Roncada, the checkered flag for the 5th time this year. His 5th moto win, his 3rd consecutive moto win.
And a little ways back now, coming over the finish line, is Nathan Ramsey in second place. Holding on to that position, a great ride for him. Casey Johnson moving up to third, and Jessamine in the top 4.